Yeah! Debut of a new song. Y'all know who this is. Y'all ready? Check it out.
Hey, do you need to know that you're about to die?
About to
When you play against Inferno, you will lose your eyes. Can't be rushing, it don't matter, cause you're in like this. Tru Inferno wins the game while your squad gets so pissed at me. The whole world will see that no new upline cannot hang with me. With me, the whole world will see that Tru Inferno was in W3.
Oh man, I'm just fooling with this one. Yeah, check out this gameplay right here. Playing in that dome. And normally today it was going to be the fourth and final segment of HHS Hilarious High School Stories. Or maybe the second to last, I'm undecided. But seeing how football season coming up, and we're in the midst of beginning fantasy football, you know, I want to give y'all my tips about how to be one of the top, I don't want to say players, I don't want to say coaches, let's say general managers. I'm going to give y'all tips about how to be the top general manager in your football league, your fantasy football league. Y'all check out my awesome gameplay. But something did happen in this particular gameplay that was funny. Matter of fact, I think it's coming up right now. So I'm climbing up here, and there's some action going on. Then all of a sudden, I throw a grenade. Problem. Oh man, that was too funny. And no, I did not get hit or affected, anything like that, as you can clearly see. But for the record, we did win the game. You know, me and FD and the rest of the game. But this beat's amazing. I just want to point out that this beat will be a part of my next Renaissance Man beat album. So if you really like that beat, check that out. I'm planning on releasing that album late November, early December. That's what I'm gunning for. And actually, my boy Dave Doe should be rapping over this as well. That would be on the album. But yeah, this beat is amazing. I had to share it with y'all. Well, with that said, let's get to the video. And that was my last kill, this gameplay. Let's get it! Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, this is your boy, that's the Tru Inferno. Back again with another Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 commentary video. Yeah, you know how we go. It's still too long. I'm fooling right now. Maybe because my birthday's in 2 days. I'm just fooling right now. And I'm going to be clubbing tomorrow night to celebrate. So anywho, normally I was going to do another hilarious high school story, but I'm going to say that for the next video because we are in the middle of fantasy football preparation. So I'm going to give y'all tips about what to do and what not to do when it comes to your fantasy football league, your fantasy football team, when it comes to building your fantasy football team. The first tip is that last year's stats don't mean a goddamn thing this year. So for example, let's say a player who's been in the league for 7 years, who haven't done much, who haven't gotten noticed, but then all of a sudden last year, he had a breakout year. He was setting career best. He got his team in the playoffs. He got, you know, a few nominations for some awards or whatever. And it was all good last year. That doesn't mean gonna happen again this year, you know. So don't go accustomed to, oh man, he had a breakout year last year. He gonna do better this year. No, that's not how it works. That normally isn't how it works. So don't bet on that. Now, the second thing you got to consider is the size of the league. So whether it's an 8-man league, 12, 16, 20, whatever. Personally, you want the 8-man league because you can build a really talented roster like that. But if it's a 16-man league, then you won't get the high amount of superstars in your squad. So 8-man league, you're looking at 3-4 major superstars. 16-man league, you're probably looking at 1 or 2. Now, the third tip is you want to plan around 1 or 2 superstars, and there's categories that fall into that. So the first one is you want to drop a top running back first, or a quarterback wide receiver combination. And what I mean by quarterback wide receiver combinations, I mean the likes of, I just saw him, Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers and Greg Jennings, Andre Johnson and Matt Schwab, Matt Ryan and Rodney Wright, Victor Cruz and Eli Manning, something like that. Jeremy McLin and Michael Vick, Steve Smith and Cam Newton, those are quarterback wide receiver combinations. So, or you could do that, or you could go with a top running back like a Ray Rice or Adrian Foster, Adrian Peterson, and build your team, your whole team around those players. Now, the second category under this is you look at the schedule. You look at the schedule and see, okay, your foundation players are playing against who? Who they play against this year? And you can draft accordingly to that, which brings me to the third category. Draft players that does not play against your foundation players. So if you go pick a Ray Rice, please don't turn around and pick Ben Roethlisberger, and they go play against each other twice. You won't get the maximum of stats you normally would, because somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And which brings me to the fourth category. Plan for defenses, so you won't pick offensive players that plays against that defense. So for example, you got your foundation player, okay, Ray Rice, cool. Now you're looking up defenses. Okay, he don't play against San Francisco, so I'm going to pick them as my main defense. Please don't pick players that play against that defense. But at the same time, if you're picking Ray Rice first, don't pick the San Francisco defense second. No, say that for later. But at the same time, pick players that won't play against that defense. Now, tip number 4. Plan on picking players that are trade bait if your first selections are taken. So what that means is, if, like I said, you was going for the Cam Newton Steve Smith combination and somebody grabbed Cam Newton, your foundation's messed up. So what you do, you pick up players as trade bait for Cam Newton. So, for example, okay, somebody pick up Cam Newton. Let me see who else available. Okay, I see a Matthew Stafford. I see a Tom Brady. I see a Michael Vick. I see a Eli Manning on down. Okay. Well, I'm going to pick Michael Vick since he's more popular. But you don't want to just pick one guy and say, hey, let me trade you this guy for that guy. No, you want to do 2 for 2. And what that means is, okay, I pick up Michael Vick. Let me pick up somebody else to trade alongside with Michael Vick. Okay, let me see. I pick up Steve Smith already. Oh, I see Jeremy Maclin. Yeah, Michael Vick's teammate. I see him, Jeremy Maclin. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to trade Michael Vick and Jeremy Maclin for Cam Newton and some scrub he got in his squad. More likely, he going to accept that trade because Jeremy Maclin is obviously Philly's best receiver. He's a good player. And then you got Michael Vick. Obviously, it's Michael Vick for Cam Newton and some scrub. Yeah, he'll want that trade. He'll like that. He'll trade Cam Newton for those 2 players. And then, boom, whichever scrub you get, you can either decide to keep him, because, oh, he may do something this year, or drop him in free agency, pick up somebody else to replace that position. No big deal. Now, the next thing you want to do, the next tip, which is tip number 5, plan on picking backup players for your other selections. So you got your foundation players in lock, intact. Okay, you're straight. Now, when it comes to the players, okay, somebody picked up your secondary quarterback. Okay, no problem. I have a backup. Let me pick this guy instead. Bing, bam, boom. No big deal. All right, next tip. Kickers. No, that's the 7th tip. The 6th tip, stay away from one of the quarterbacks. You don't want to, especially do not want to build your foundation based off of one of the quarterbacks like a Cam Newton, like a Ben Roethlisberger, like a Tim Tebow. You don't want one of the quarterbacks. Michael Vick, you don't want one of the quarterbacks. And the reason why I say that is because they're more than likely to get hurt. Michael Vick got hurt in his first preseason game. How sad is that? So stay away from running quarterback, excuse me. Especially if you're trying to build the foundation based off of them. Don't do it. Now the next tip number 7, kickers should always be picked last. Obvious. Number 8, don't worry too much about the tight ends. The tight end position is so deep this year. There's just so much talent this year. It's not worth to get upset about somebody pick up Jeremy Maclin or something like that. Don't stress. Don't get bent out of shape. The Patriots got 2 quality tight ends. So there you go. Number 8. That was number 8. Excuse me. Number 9. Depending on draft order, do not try and get the first pick unless your foundation play is based off of one player. So if you want Ray Rice or Adrian Foster, yeah, go for that number 1 pick and build your foundation based on them. But if you're doing like a combination thing, don't do it, because especially if you join the league in Yahoo Sports, I don't know how any other fantasy football league does it, but if you get the number 1 pick in the first round, you go pick last in the second round. So if you get the last pick in the first round, you go pick first in the second round. They flip-flop. So you want that middle area. So if you're in an 8-man league, you want to have the 3rd pick, 4th pick, 5th pick. Something like that. If you're in a 16-man league, you want the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th pick. Something around that range. So you can easily, so you have a better chance of building your combination players. Now then, number 10, the last tip. Try to pick, and this one's not as important, but still worth mentioning. Try to pick players that plays in warmer climates. Players who plays in domes. Players who play in less hazardous climates. Tom Brady didn't have a good year last year compared to his other years, right? Because of the snow and the cold. So you want players who play in the dome or in warmer climates, like in Florida or in Oakland, something like that. And that's your tips, and that was your game, as you can see. Dominated once again, playing with FD, Polga, and Cloud, and Nico, and Kingpin. And this is the Tru Inferno saying peace out. Happy birthday to me in 2 days.